Kia ora, everybody. Friday afternoon, 12:30. That means we're going to be talking all things employment and jobs across New Zealand here on Frogs on Friday. Hi there. My name is Mark Smith. I'm Group Managing Director of Frog Recruitment in New Zealand and People to People in Australia. And I've dressed up. I've got my suit on. I've got my tie on because, we're back to business. Apparently, on the 15th of December, people can travel to and from Auckland. So I've got a picture for everybody here. See that? That is an Air New Zealand aircraft. I know we haven't seen it for a little while, but that's an Air New Zealand aircraft. We can get on those. I know that our team in Wellington is looking forward to popping up to Auckland for our Christmas party. I think that's going to be on it's the 16th. So the managing director of Frog in New Zealand has engineered that. So at the moment we can travel, yes, we're going to be able to jump on and have the Christmas party in Auckland. Anyway, we're not here to talk about that. It's Frogs on Friday. We're here to talk about jobs and employment across New Zealand. So what we'll do today is we'll cover off our regular numbers section, where today I've got the Seek New Zealand Employment Report. Then we'll go through, we'll actually do our news, Frog in the News with Shannon Barlow from Auckland. Then we'll have Frog Friday, I should say, where we've got 3 temp jobs we are desperate to fill for Monday. And so we'll let you know about those. So you can jump online, you can apply, and hopefully we can get you working on Monday. Now we can see if you've got any questions about what we're talking about today. Then we can see them on YouTube, Facebook, and LinkedIn in real time. So make sure you pop those up and we'll get to them straight away. So now let's jump into our first section, the numbers or the market report for this week. And thanks to Seek really for all of the numbers that I'm going to share with you today. So here's the first one. So this is the New Zealand job ad growth and decline since October 2019. Now, essentially, let me just read to you a couple of the key points from the Seek job report, and I'll get Remy, who's the man behind the scenes this week. Jacob is actually taking a break. I'll get him to pop that into the comments after we finish up here. But Seek job ads were up 1% month on month. Seek job ads were up 37% in October 21 year on year, 15% when compared to October 2019. That's nationally. The applications per job ad increased 2% month on month, but were down 30% compared to the same time month 2 years ago. So I think that is very interesting. So if we can just go back to the other first slide there for me, Remy. Yeah, so this one here, I just wanted to point out just really quickly the differences regionally. So the pink line is Auckland. Canterbury is the dark purple at the bottom. Wellington is the light grey, and all of New Zealand is black at the top. So you can see that Wellington is basically tracking the New Zealand average for those who are watching from Wellington. But Auckland, with the lockdown, and I think we're in, and I'll confirm with Shannon Barlow, who will be catching up with in a second, how I think it's a solid 8 weeks that we've been locked down, maybe longer. And you can see that effect in the number of job ads in Auckland, which has dragged down the national average. And Canterbury at the bottom is obviously felt a little bit of a dip in July, August. But it's basically in front of where it was prior to the COVID recession. So we'll quickly go to the next slide. And you can see these are the numbers that I just mentioned. I wanted to look at this again just to quickly point out the month-on-month changes. So it's not really moving except for Canterbury. Things are moving down in Canterbury, but basically everywhere else, Auckland, Wellington, there or thereabouts. But year on year, this time last year, we're in a world of pain. Canterbury was down a substantial amount, and we are now 59% better in terms of the number of job ads. Now you've got to keep that in mind too. It's not the number of people employed; it's the number of advertisements that are out there. 59% up in Canterbury, 36% in Wellington, and 27% on last year. And then if we go pre-COVID levels, you can see that Wellington and Canterbury are way in front of pre-COVID levels, but Auckland's still slightly behind. And I think that's a direct result of obviously the recent lockdowns, nationally up 15%. The very last slide I want to show you is our industry, which industries are doing best in New Zealand. I was actually quite surprised when I saw this report from Seek that advertising, arts and media were up 28%. This is the monthly change, by the way. So it's month on month. So advertising, jobs, advertising, arts and media are on the rise. I think that's because the anticipation of the lockdowns ending, mining in double figures, trades and services, science and technology. In some of the areas that P2P have been recruiting for, education up 4%, legal up 2%. At the bottom end of the curve there, we've got design and architecture, consulting and strategy, sport and recreation, and IT. So that's month on month, mind you. So really some interesting numbers. I'll make sure I get a link to the report popped in the comments there, so everyone can check those out. But now let's cross to Auckland. But before we go there, I think we do have a job opportunity in Auckland where Angela Yee from our team in Frog Recruitment in Auckland is recruiting. If we want to play that, and then we'll have a chat to Shannon.
Hi everyone, Angela here from Frog Recruitment. I'm on a hunt for a GM marketing and fundraising role for a leading charity, Kids Can. An exciting, new and rewarding role for an experienced senior marketing professional to lead Kids Can strategy and drive revenue and making a difference in our Kiwi kids. You will be at the top of your marketing game and an outstanding communicator with a proven track record to deliver maximum impact and get the best out of your team. As a senior leader, you will play a crucial part in developing a marketing and communication strategy, drive revenue and strategic relationship to support program growth, identifying new opportunities, fostering innovation and creating tailored messaging that will energize donor and stakeholder communities. With 5 direct reports, you will inspire your team to new heights, lead by example, building capability and challenging the status quo. Previous charity experience will be an advantage, but not essential. So, if you're keen to make a genuine difference that's packed with a feel-good vibes and surrounded by passionate, like-minded people, I would love to hear from you. Contact me today on 021 228 2855 or apply online. Thanks for watching.
Hi there, Shannon. Oh, we're just waiting for Shannon. There she is. So how did you engineer the Christmas party in Auckland on the 16th, the day after that? Did you do that deliberately?
Oh, of course I did. I knew it was coming. I knew that timing would be right. Maybe a little bit of a combination of leaving it as close to the end of the year as possible, so it just worked in our favour. I do have to note, though, you were always downplaying the lockdown in Auckland. So what do you say? You think
I
it's
thought 8 weeks?
We're coming up to 4 months, Mark, so it's been a while.
It's not funny. Actually, it's not funny at all. No, it's not. So we're not here to talk about that, actually. We're here to talk about Frog in the media or Frog in the news. And we were quoted, I think, just last week. Here it is, Business Desk, where Australia, West Island, beckons when the border reopens. So what do you think is actually going to happen then, like in terms of the jobs and market when the border does open, probably early in the new year?
Yeah, so that date of December 15th for the Auckland border opening and people being able to travel around New Zealand will be make a massive difference, and mainly it's about opening up so people can see their friends and whānau, particularly leading up to Christmas and that summer break. And as we've heard already, there are going to be a lot of people who really need that decent break. But what we're talking about here is the international borders and what effect that will have on the labour market, which, as you know, is very tight here as it is across the world as well. And I think there will be a mixed effect. So definitely once the borders open for New Zealand and we can travel freely, yes, that will make a big difference. We're likely to see a huge influx of Kiwis returning home once that those restrictions or the as I called it, the MIQ lottery of doom has been removed and making things easier for people to get back home. Yes, we will see a big amount of New Zealanders coming back, which will be excellent. But I think it's likely to be offset. We'll see more Kiwis leaving than we will returning. So,
do you think that's because, like, Australian agencies particularly will be hunting in the labour market here in New Zealand, like looking for people who want to travel to Australia?
Absolutely, we would be as well. So I think, most countries and industries, it's very widespread, of feeling that pain of trying to find qualified candidates for their vacancies. So everybody wants to keep going. And in Auckland particularly, we've seen businesses still pumping out the vacancies, as we saw in the numbers, but it's about finding those people. So yes, we have seen that our talent being approached by the Aussies, but we're not going to hold that against you. We would do the same thing too. I think what the difference will be is how long it takes New Zealand to get to that point where we can move freely. So, the longer we have restrictions and there's, you have to quarantine, then going overseas is going to be more attractive. The other thing that comes into it is we've had almost 2 years worth of younger Kiwis who've missed out on their big OE. So they're going to be champing at the bit to get overseas and to experience a bit of life. So, yeah, I think we'll lose more than we gain this time around.
Do you think Kiwi companies will be able to tap into the reverse, though? The like Irish and Brits and all on working holidays in New Zealand?
Yeah, I think so as well. New Zealand's still a wonderful place to go and to spend your time and have a working holiday. So it's more being, I guess, the few who have been trapped in a way, although New Zealand's not a bad place to be trapped during a pandemic most of the time. So we've been relying on those few, but we're going to need to see, and I think we will see, the return of the working holiday makers.
Well, I know that they're an important resource. Okay, great. So, bottom line is, though, that you think that there's going to be a lot of movement of Kiwis in and out of the country in 2022.
Absolutely. I think as well with things like vaccine mandates as well, the already tight labour market, there's a lot of different factors that are going to compound those effects. So, it'd be really interesting to see how we plan against that and have different options so that we can open up that labour market and, bring as many people in as possible.
So just quickly, before we leave you, how would you quickly describe the market in Auckland and Wellington right now in terms of the number of jobs, etc.?
Yeah, so it's great to see with it's I think each time I've come on to Frogs on Friday, the market, or the job market, has still been busy. And leading up to Christmas, and now with the opening of retail as well in Auckland, and the Waikato, it means that we're starting to pump things up, and we're seeing that demand. And again, it's about trying to find the people to fill all of those roles, but we're coming into a very busy time, which again will be interesting because you weigh up you've got a lot of very tired and stressed out people who need a good break over summer, but also that's the time when
business is ramping up,
open up a little bit, and how do we make sure that things keep ticking along?
Great. All right. I can see that Remy's popped your details up there. So if you do have any questions about the job market, or you're actually looking for work right now, get in touch with Shannon. What's the number there, Shannon, for everybody to get you on?
09869 6259.
Fabulous. Fantastic. Well, thanks for joining us again, Shannon. Hopefully we'll see you again before the end of the year and at the Christmas party in Auckland with everybody from Wellington. All right. So we'll see you soon. Okay, let's move on. So we got a quick comment from Facebook, Amanda, on Facebook. Great wrap up. Yes, indeed it was. Okay, let's quickly move on then to Fill Frog Friday. We've got 3 vacancies that we really need to fill today. So here they are. The first one is the customer service specialist. This is a role that is for a 6-month temporary assignment. It's an ASAP start. Based in Auckland, 58 to 60K is the salary. What they're looking for is a customer service professional who's got a knowledge of mortgage processes and perhaps comes from a banking and finance background. You've got to have previous experience at an absolute minimum in customer service. The next role we have is a scheduling returns officer. This particular role is for 12 months. It's based in Mount Wellington, but there's 2. So with a 12-month role like this, there's a 2 to 3 week training period. And this is a bit of an issue, due to the nature of the work, you must have both your vaccinations to get this one. $30 an hour. Previous experience in customer service is the important part. Also, that you've got to have good verbal and written communication skills. Verbal, particularly, because it's in the medical sphere, that you'll get some pushback from medical staff, so you need to be able to handle that. Retail assistant is the last one. So this one is a role where you can work around your lifestyle. $20 an hour plus 8% holiday pay, based in Auckland, Newmark, Sylvia Park, and Botany. If you are looking for work and want to work in a busy retail team that can fit your lifestyle, you should give us a call. So they're the 3. Fill 3 jobs. We can fill them this afternoon. Give us a call. Get in touch with us at Frog Recruitment, and we'll be able to. They're all Auckland-based, those roles. So give our Auckland office a call. Right, time to wrap up. Let's have a quick look at our Twitter poll from last week, where it was, would you be happy? And this came from some interesting feedback that we got, where an old colleague of mine working for an Australian firm but based in Milan, where he's monitored when he logs on and everything that he does on his machine. So we thought he'd ask the question, would you be happy for your employer to monitor your activity when working remotely? Only 12% said, oh, no, that makes sense. 62% of Kiwis went, no, that is a complete privacy violation. And the last one, a quarter of people said, well, as long as they tell me, that's okay. It's really interesting element from a management perspective about trust more than anything else. And I know that seems that 12% of Kiwis believe that, there is no trust. We're just going to make sure we're monitoring. Let's have a look at this week's poll. So the one that we thought we'd put out there this week is, if you're working remotely, do you still log on while you're sick? Do you still log on while you're sick when you're working remotely? Are they getting their extra pound of flesh? Okay, that's it, everybody. Thank you for joining us for Frogs on Friday. We'll do it all again at 12:30 next week. Enjoy the weekend, and we'll see you then.